The NFL draft might be over, but what if the real steals are happening right now, completely unnoticed? While teams celebrated their picks, several projected mid-round talents slipped through the cracks, and a few franchises are quietly building something dangerous behind the scenes. And one team may have just changed everything. Somehow, the NFL just let real talent walk right past them. We're not talking about random long shots either. These are players who had legitimate draft grades, guys expected to hear their names somewhere between rounds 4 and 6. Instead, silence. No calls, no picks, just questions. Players like Scooby Williams, Cameron Ball, and Jeff Caldwell all showed flashes of serious NFL ability. Elite traits, explosive athleticism, real production on tape. So what happened? It comes down to hesitation. Teams overthinking scheme fit, concerns about consistency, small school bias creeping in. The same cycle every year. High upside players fall because they don't fit perfectly into a predefined role. But here's the truth, the NFL doesn't always reward potential, it sometimes ignores it. And that's exactly where things get interesting. Because while some teams passed, others saw opportunity. They saw value where others saw risk. And now those overlooked players are landing in situations that might actually be better than getting drafted in the first place. And the teams that took that chance might have just outsmarted the entire league. Fit can change everything in the NFL, and for these undrafted players, it might be the difference between disappearing and breaking out. Take Scooby Williams landing in Brian Flores' defense. That's not just a random signing, that's a system built for chaos. Flores loves versatile, aggressive defenders who can blitz from anywhere, and Williams thrives in exactly that kind of role. Then there's Joey Aguilar, stepping into a quarterback-friendly system where development actually matters. His accuracy and awareness suddenly become real weapons instead of question marks. Michael Trigg is another perfect example. He's not your traditional tight end, but the Cowboys don't need that, they need a playmaker in the passing game, and that's exactly what he brings. This is where teams separate themselves. It's not about drafting the best player, it's about finding the right player for your system. And when that clicks, draft position becomes irrelevant. Because suddenly, these overlooked names aren't just depth pieces, they're potential impact players in the perfect environment. But even the perfect fit means nothing if there's no real opportunity waiting. Opportunity is everything in the NFL, and right now, some of these undrafted rookies are walking into wide-open doors. Look at the Raiders' backfield. On paper, it looks solid, but beyond the top names, the depth isn't exactly locked in. That gives a player like Roman Hemby a real shot. His pass-catching ability alone could separate him quickly in a room that lacks versatility. Then you've got the Saints, a team that desperately needed pass rush help. Michael Heldman doesn't just bring production, he walks into a situation where snaps are available immediately. The Chiefs are another interesting case. They addressed wide receiver, but not enough. That leaves space for someone like Jeff Caldwell, a high-upside athlete, to sneak onto the roster if he flashes during camp. And in Jacksonville behind Trevor Lawrence, the backup quarterback situation isn't exactly settled. That opens the door for Joey Aguilar to make serious noise if he performs early. This is where things shift. Talent matters, but opportunity decides who actually survives. Because once these players get real reps, depth charts start changing fast. And one team didn't just create opportunity, they may have completely taken over the board. While most teams were wrapping up their draft classes, one team kept going, and what they did next is starting to turn heads. The Miami Dolphins didn't treat undrafted free agency like an afterthought. They attacked it, signing multiple high-upside players, stacking talent in areas they knew needed depth. Mason Reger brings explosiveness off the edge. Renee Konga, a freak athlete with traits you simply can't teach. These aren't safe signings, they're calculated swings on elite physical upside. And that's what makes this so interesting. Instead of playing it conservative, Miami leaned into volatility. They targeted players other teams avoided, guys with flaws, yes, but also with ceilings high enough to completely outperform their draft status. Add in a new coaching staff with no loyalty to the current roster, and suddenly, every position becomes a real competition. This isn't just about filling holes. This is about reshaping the bottom of the roster with raw, dangerous talent. And when multiple players like this hit at once, it can completely change a team's trajectory. But even in a class full of upside, one name stands above the rest, and it's not even close asterisk. There's one player in this entire undrafted class that scouts can't stop thinking about, and it doesn't make sense how he slipped this far. Levian Moss isn't just another running back, he might be one of the most naturally gifted runners in this entire class. When you turn on the tape, it's obvious. His vision, instant. His cuts, violent. The way he hits the hole, it's aggressive, decisive, and explosive. Purely as a runner, he stacks up with some of the best prospects that did get drafted. So why was he ignored? It comes down to risk. Injuries have followed him, raising durability concerns that scared teams off. And in today's NFL, if you're not heavily involved in the passing game as a running back, your value takes a hit. Moss didn't bring that complete profile and teams hesitated. But here's the twist: once the draft ends, that risk disappears. Now he lands with the Miami Dolphins, a team that doesn't have a runner quite like him. If he stays healthy, he doesn't just make the roster, he could force his way into real touches. And if that happens, this won't look like a missed pick. It'll look like one of the biggest mistakes the league didn't see coming. There's always one player in every undrafted class that makes people stop and ask, how is he still available? That player right now is Jamry Taylor. All season long, he was the guy his team trusted when the moment got big. Need a clutch run? He delivered. Short yardage, reliable, pass catching out of the backfield, consistent. His contact balance stands out immediately. He absorbs hits, keeps moving, and finds ways to extend plays that should already be over. So why hasn't anyone picked him up yet? Some teams are hesitant. He doesn't have that elite breakaway speed scouts love. There's also some concern about mileage. He's taken a lot of hits, and that always raises long-term questions. But here's the thing: production doesn't lie, and Taylor produced when it mattered most. Now, reports suggest a few teams are showing interest. Some fans believe the Jaguars could be a potential landing spot, but nothing is confirmed yet. And that's what makes this so unpredictable. Because the moment he signs, everything changes. His value skyrockets instantly depending on where he lands. And his final destination might end up reshaping this entire undrafted class. There's always one name that lingers, one player everyone expected to be gone, but somehow is still waiting. Right now, that's Jamry Taylor. A clutch performer all season, tough runner, reliable receiver. The kind of player coaches trust when the game is on the line, but questions about his speed and workload have kept teams hesitant. Some fans believe teams like Jacksonville could be interested, but nothing's confirmed. And that's what makes this so interesting. Because the second he signs, everything changes. And where he lands could flip this entire story upside down.